Morning, my friends and family, and whoever else is out there in YouTube and Facebook and Instagram world. I guess I should start posting the fucking Snapchat and TikTok as well, but just want to say good morning. It's Sunday the 26th, and I want to just talk about a little bit of the Harvard Square pit situation. This one here says authentic brick, the pit, Harvard Square. Thanks for the memories, 1982 to 2022. Now they're making me another one with like my name and stuff like that. But I donated to Bridge Over Troubled Waters. The donation started off at 20, and you could, I mean, it doesn't really matter what I gave, but I gave them $100 just because, a lot of us got a lot of dental work, and the outreach program there was pretty good. They had the Bridge Over Troubled Water van that would show up almost every Friday, I believe, Friday evenings, and you get hot chocolate, get a little warm in the winter, and you get some AC in the summer, or some lemonade, or some bug juice or whatever, fruit punch, and and they provide us with a lot of services. They would do like physicals and see if you need any help, or try to help you get jobs, things like that. They gave me a bunch of condoms that I never used, which was very appreciated. But but seriously, so they were a really good organization. I know a lot of my friends got dental work and things like that well into their 20s, and maybe a little bit later if you looked young enough. But it's a great organization. I went by, talked to them at the booth, got a brick. Some of the business association people, Harvard Square. One of my friends, Carrie, she's like, "We'll get you a brick with your information on it, And so Ryan Murphy's like, "Well, it should say Jarget on it, right?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, I guess it should say Jarget," and a couple other people, and Greg York, and I think maybe it was him that said that. But anyway, and that was another thing, So I'm gonna get one with that on it, whatever. But also, which I really appreciate, I'll put this one in the shop, and I'll put the other one with my name on it at the house, But it was just so great to see everybody. I saw Lucas, I saw Alex. I mean, Marty. I mean, there's so many people. It'd be hard for me to name everybody and try to keep everybody. Just like so many faces, so many people that I deeply care about. And it was just so good to see so many still out and about and looking great. I mean, so many people looked really good, and some people, their health is waning, and it's I hate to see that. I'm not calling anybody out or any of that bullshit. Do what you want. It's really good to see people. I wish I would have taken more pictures with people. Like, I really wanted to get a picture with Ryan. I wanted to get a picture with Lucas. I mean, some people got some this and that. I was really trying to soak in the moment, because I mean, I don't know how many of these people I'm going to see again anytime soon, especially like kind of, just like I wasn't like, I didn't know everybody in the pit. I mean, I knew faces. I knew that people hung out there, this and that. It was good. I saw like the Metalhead crowd, me and Derek Malone actually as well. He left before the rest of the boys and ladies got there that we used to chill with. And, and we got to recreate that picture from back in '84, I think. It was amazing, and that was the thing about the pit in Harvard Square, and I want to send a shout out to the Harvard Business Association, the city of Cambridge, Mark McGovern, and Jen, I forget, I'm not sure your last name, I'm so sorry, I apologize. And I'd seen you running around working hard, so I probably should introduce myself, but it was so hard just to, like, I was really just trying to focus on talking to people that I haven't seen in years, and it was nice, it was nice. And some people, I don't, maybe I shit in their coffee at one point or something, but like, okay. I mean, it was funny. There was people that showed up there to stand around in the background talking shit to their one or two friends or by themselves about everybody else. Like, you could see them, like pointing, oh, they did this and they did. I mean, okay, enjoy yourself, you know what I mean? I mean, if I don't understand it, but hey, you'd be like, oh, hey, how you doing? You know, and they're like, they give you the old, I'm like, okay. I mean, especially since some of them I haven't seen in fucking 15, 20 years, right? Like, what the fuck could I have done to you? Anyway. Oh, I ran into the old Dread. Well, he's older now. Ira, back in the day, you know, used to drive around that Toyota Celica. I used to whip with him, me and Jesse B, smoking blunts all the time. Back before it was way before it was illegal, and we'd be down in Blue Hill Ave cruising, blasting music. It was so much fun. But I seen him and I was like, oh my god! I mean, he looks exactly the same, except his goatee's gray now. Oh man, so I got his number. I should have got more numbers, but it's hard, you know what I mean? You're in the conversation and, like, you know, you don't want it to stop. And then I see someone else, and I'm like, oh, I'll be right back. And I go talk to them, and I try to get back to the other conversation. It's, you know, it's all over the place. And my kids, I want to, you know, I thanked both of them. They were really, really great. You know, they just chilled out. And, you know, and I was worried, you know, I'm like, you guys all right? If you need anything, let me know. And they're like, no, Dad, we're good, you know, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right, cool, you know. And I keep saying, you know, and it's a filler. But it was really good. It was really good. It was really good to see everybody. You know, whether I knew them on a first name basis or not, you know, we all knew of each other, whether we knew each other, you know. And I was talking to a guy from probably the Harvard Crimson, I believe. I mean, he was a student at Harvard, and he was you know, doing interviews and stuff. And I told him a story about, you know, me and Oli were talking to him, and Oli was like, well, if someone came up to you right off the bat and you knew they were trying to be your best friend, they were probably trying to scam you. And, you know, I told him a story about how, you know, sometimes when we were broke and down and out, and, you know, because kids would always come up to us that we didn't know, strangers, you know, and they'd be like, hey, can you get me some drugs? Blah, blah. I guess Harvard Square was known for that, you know, and they'd be like, yeah, I'll get you an ounce, man. And, you know, we go into Harvard Yard right after they mow the grass, like in the mornings, you know. By the afternoon, all that dew has condensed the grass together like a big bud. So it looked like an ounce fucking weed, right? And they spray it with pesticides, too, so that's probably not good. But that's probably where the buzz came from. But, so I'd be like, how much you got? You know, it's $400 for an ounce. They're like, okay. Or whatever it was, $200 back, you know, way back. But then as the 90s came on, it got more expensive. But I'd be like, all right, I'll be right back. I got to go pick it up at my house. They're like, okay, great. I'm like, wait right here. No, hold them. They're like, I'm not giving you the money. I go, yeah, keep the money. You know, play that confidence game. Go in there, go to store 24, rip a package of baggies open, grab a couple of baggies, go in there, put some fucking grass, you know, because it would look like a huge bud. Put a couple of those in there, roll it up, lick it, boom, put it in your pocket. Come over, be like, come on, man, you got to be careful. Go into Mashed Potato Alley, or one right behind the garage. It's not so mashed potato-y now, but, you know, so then, you know, you get the money and then you go party with friends, you know, and it was kind of a shitty thing to do, but, you know, a lot of us were broke and, you know, either homeless or escaping, you know, extreme situations at the house, or shitty neighborhoods, you know, shitty home life, drug addiction, all kinds of stuff, you know. I mean, people went to the pit because, you know, it seemed like the place to go, right? Back in the day when we first started hanging out there was no cell phones. You know, we had pay phones and stuff like that. And we had pages later on, but I mean, you know, the hangout scene is almost over, really, because you just, you know, you wouldn't just go to a town square just to hang out to see what was going to happen. You know, you'd already know who's going to be there before you go, and this and that. You know, with the phone, you know who you're going to meet, so you wouldn't even meet there. You know, before we'd be like, meet me by the pit. You know what I mean? It was just a spot to meet up at, you know, and you just, you knew, like, some of the regular players that were going to be there almost every day, like me, you know, Keith Smith, you know, there was a bunch of us, you know, many more, although I didn't see him last night, which is unfortunate, but he's not really on social media either, but, so, like, you know, you would go there and be like, well, we'll see what happens today, you know, and I mean, you knew there was going to be a crew down there, but you weren't exactly sure who you were going to hang with on a daily basis. And it was great, you know. We meet celebrities and all kinds of stuff, you know, people hanging in the pit, musicians, and, you know, and it wasn't always nice, you know. There was, well, I mean, I just told you about the the theft, but there was fights, there was there was sexual assaults that I've heard about, and especially since the days of hanging out are over, people were talking about it a lot more. It just a lot of there was a lot of scummy shit going on, but I mean, I know for myself the vast majority of it was a positive. I mean, don't get me wrong. I caused a lot of havoc down there. I mean, we can debate why and how all that came to be, but I definitely wasn't favored by the city of Cambridge or the Harvard Business Association back in the 80s and 90s. But there was other things too, like Mark McGovern was saying. He's like, oh, he was talking to my kids, and I think it's true, but a lot of people are like, hey, your dad used to look out for us when we were kids, and yada yada yada. But I was the same age too, but I was a big kid, I was a big dude, and I had come from the projects, and I mean, you come up there, it's a little rougher, so I wasn't too intimidated by people in Harvard Square. My neighborhood was way more intimidating than the pit, but there was issues there too, sometimes, but for the most part, it was like the United Nations there, it was like 8 different nations, right? You had the metalheads, and you had like the burnouts, and you had like the homies, the breakdancers, the brothers, and then you had like the punk rockers and the skinheads, and did I say the metalheads? Yeah, the metalheads, and you had goth kids, all kinds of crews. There was gay kids, lesbians, kids, everybody, man. There was the trans. There was everybody in Harvard Square. Everybody, there was nerds, there was thuggish kids, there was some of us that were kind of in between all of it, and it was like, sometimes it was an uneasy truce in the pit, but most times it was a pretty easy truce. We all looked out for each other for the most part. Don't get me wrong, like I said, there was a lot of extreme poverty in Boston, and I'm sure there still is, and some people were looking for a come up, and that shit happens sometimes, But yeah, this is a long ass video, but I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that came out yesterday. It was just great to see everybody, and everybody was very respectful. There was no fights I didn't see. I mean, there was some discourse from some guy talking shit. I mean, it's America. That's how we kind of run the pit page. I mean, other than shit that's like against the rules and stuff like that, like I mean, almost anything goes, right? But if you're gonna clap off on somebody, you know what I mean, expect the comments back, and that's fine. Let's have a discussion. Let's I mean, we don't have to punch each other in the face anymore, right? It was nice. I've said it before, I'll say it again. A lot of the times when we left Harvard Square for the last time, some of us knew it was our last time. Some of it was our last time because they died. But some of us, we just kind of stopped going there because we were in other things, and we really didn't have a big, hey, goodbye, blah, blah, blah. Not that, but it was nice. It was nice to have it recognized, I mean, it was a significant part of my youth, my childhood, and my 20s. I spent there, my teens and my 20s, I spent there, I spent a good 20 years there. On and off, I've done things in between, moved around, this and that, but yeah, it was a really good time, and I'm really glad that people showed out, and I was at first because they had the hardcore band in there, which is all right, I mean, and it was it was cool hearing hardcore in the pit, and then they had like some of the 80s like Depeche Mode and stuff like that, but I was like, where's the hip hop? You know what I mean? Like hip hop was a big part of the pit. I felt. I mean, it was break dances, all kinds of stuff back in the day. And then they had like a little performance, and they had some hip hop music, which was great. And I mean, I like a little more, but that's what I listen to most of the time. That or EDM, But yeah, so it was really good to see everybody, and they had all of Dunster Street clothes out. I mean, it wouldn't have been possible without the cooperation of the city and the Harvard Square Business Association. You know what I mean? I don't know if that brought any money there, you know. I'm sure it cost some money. And maybe it did, you know. I mean, people were spending money doing stuff, you know. And it was nice, though, because I've been to Harvard Square so many times over the last couple of years, even before pandemic. And, you know, I'd go through there with my kids and hang out for a little while. And it wasn't like last night. Last night looked like Saturday the 25th, June 25th, 2022, looked like a Saturday night in the pit back in the 80s and 90s, you know. It really did. It was, you know, the performance. And you know, it was just like back in the day, right? Sometimes the shit's just too loud and you're like, what the fuck, man? You know, when's this motherfucker gonna stop yelling in my ear? Whatever, you know what I mean? So it was, and you know, having people, I mean, you know, some guy talking shit about Mark, whatever, you know what I mean? I mean, it's politics, and, you know, I get it, you know, it's First Amendment right, you know, and, but I'll defend Mark, you know, I'll defend that gentleman. To, you know, I've known him since we were like 13 years old, you know what I mean? He's been a solid dude, you know. I mean, you know, some people say it about me too, right? But Mark, really, you know, I mean, I never seen him lie, steal, or cheat anybody out of anything. You know what I mean? He was always and still is a very nice dude. You know, his family's fucking great. You know, he's an old Cambridge head, man. You know, I mean, dude helps a lot of people. You know, he helps a lot of people. I wish that I could get involved in public service and serve my community as well as Mark has. You know, and my hat's off to you and Jen, you know, for real. Like, you know, it means a lot. It means a lot. You know, I know, you know, Harvard Square didn't mean as much to some people, and it meant more to others. You know, it meant a lot to me. You know, my household was drug riddled, and, you know, there was prostitution in there. People, you know, have died in there. You know, just robberies, crazy shit. You know, addiction. Even before I was, you know, fully into all that crap. You know, coming up on 3 years, but, you know, like. Yeah, so it definitely was my my refuge when I needed it the most. You know, did I stay out of trouble? No, you know, I got locked up in DYS and all that stuff, and even in adult prison, jail. But, you know, hey, I learned a lot there. I learned that people could actually truly care about each other without necessarily wanting something from you. You know, that was a big realization that people actually gave a fuck about their friends, you know, and you know, I know for me and maybe for many others, you know, our friends were our family when our families weren't able to be there, and maybe even now, you know, I mean, I have my own family, right? I mean, I'm still with my mom. I talk with my mom, my brothers, you know. I should talk with them a little more often. But, you know, with my brothers, that is. I talk with my mom almost every day on the phone or you know, online or on the phone, texting. And, you know, I have my own children now. Yeah, I'm divorced. I mean, but, you know, we have a good life together. I got a really awesome girlfriend, and, you know, we're making things happen. And, you know, I'm willing and able to help people if I can, you know. And sometimes you have to help yourself in order to help others. All right, it's almost a 20-minute freaking video. No one's going to watch it. Because, why would they? We all got short attention span. But, yeah, I just kind of wanted to say that. And I wanted to, you know, dedicate a little love and respect to Mark and Jen. And also, you know, just send a shout out to those friends that we've lost, all of us that we've lost along the way, because we've lost quite a bit. You know, we've lost quite a few, and you know, it goes out to them. You know, we're still doing it, guys and girls, and, you know, there was the benefit thing for Jesse Victor yesterday. I couldn't stay for very long, but, you know, I wanted to see a couple people. I didn't go inside. I had my kids with me, so, you know, it is what it is. And it was getting late. I didn't get there till about after 11, so we went home. But anyway, yeah. You know, I just want to send thanks, praise, and much love to all of those that we lost over the years, you know, and those that we will lose this year, you know. All right, you know, we got some contentious times coming, you know, or now, But, get involved. I say it over and over. Get involved, get involved, get involved. All politics is local. Get involved and change it locally, and then we'll do it nationally and then worldwide. All right, everybody, take care of yourselves and each other, all right?